It is time for our Sunrise Smart Start this morning. New this morning, no injuries reported after a fire on Garson Avenue in Rochester. This happened around 4 a.m. just a couple of hours ago. Firefighters say flames spread to all 3 floors of that home on Garson. It took about 40 minutes to ultimately bring that fire under control. The Red Cross assisting 8 adults and 3 children this morning. That house is now unlivable. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. To the latest on COVID-19 on this Monday, New York State dialing back several state-imposed COVID restrictions this week. Beginning today, no more curfew for outdoor dining. Erica Cost is live with more on what we can expect. Erica, good morning.
Good morning, Mark. That's right. And this Wednesday, May 19th, no more capacity restrictions for bars and restaurants, gyms, barbershops, and more. An indoor dining curfew will also lift starting at May 31st. Restaurant owner we talked to at Reynos Restaurant says, well, it feels good to have more people vaccinated. It's been a struggle for him and other business owners he's talked to. There just isn't enough staff. Piles of unfilled applications sitting with no one showing up for interviews. This has become the biggest frustration for him as they've reopened. And over the past few weeks, as the demand has been busier, they've had to turn people away. There's just not enough staffing there.
My patio was almost full, and that's with only 2 servers on. It was tough. We went through it. We told people as soon as they came in, it's going to be a little slow. We don't have enough staff.
Now, with the CDC recommending that those fully vaccinated don't have to wear a mask indoors, outdoors, business owners are waiting for the state to chime in on what they are going to say for those recommendations. For now, at Reynos Restaurant, they're going to continue with that mask mandate. In Rochester, Erica Cost, News 8.
All right, Erica, thank you. We should add, with the talk of the CDC lifting mask restrictions for those who are fully vaccinated, business owners are on standby for what Governor Cuomo will have to say, and we will have more on that as Erica reported. We should note the CDC now says it is safe for fully vaccinated Americans to take their masks off in most indoor settings. Under the new guidelines, states and businesses can decide their own rules. Some states have lifted the mandate, others have yet to. Joined live this morning by Washington correspondent Anna Wernicke in D.C. Anna, good morning. Businesses which operate in multiple states will have some big decisions to make here. How are these big businesses reacting so far?
Good morning. Well, several big chains like CVS and Macy's say that they're still going to be requiring masks indoors in the stores for the time being. Other stores say that they're still reviewing their policies and deciding how exactly they're going to be moving forward. But places like Walmart, Costco, and Trader Joe's, they said on Friday that they won't require vaccinated shoppers to wear a mask in the store unless state or local laws say otherwise.
All right, so that's the key stipulation. It still comes down to the states there. You know, a question a lot of us are asking, I know businesses are as well, how do you tell, or how will they tell, if someone's actually been vaccinated?
Well, that's the really big question right now. Some stores say that they're still reviewing their policies, like I said, but other stores, they're flirting with the idea of possibly a vaccination passport, which would just be a card that shows proof of vaccination, but that would be up to that individual store if they want to require that or not. But ultimately, states and businesses are basically saying that it's going to be based off of the honor system. A
lot to be sorted out here. Anna, again, thank you for the live report from Washington this morning. Much appreciated on this end. Well, the guidance, we should note, has not yet been adopted here in New York. The governor says he and the state health department are reviewing it. Of course, that was taking place over the weekend. We'll see if we get anything new on this Monday as it relates to the CDC guidance. In the meantime, James Gilbert with us talking about a spectacular forecast. The feel of summer coming this way this week.
Oh, man, it's going to be just great. I think a lot of folks trying to get back out there, get in summertime shape as the temperatures turn to summer. Going on a jog this morning, very comfortable in the mid-50s. If you prefer maybe a little bit more fun exercise, at least in my opinion, a golf forecast looking great for that Monday round. Temperatures around lunchtime right at that 70-degree mark. Now, Look, this is average for this time of year, the weather that we've got today. So as much as it's funny, we're super excited about average, it's the weather that comes tomorrow and the rest of the week that is well above average. I will show you the 8-day forecast coming up at the end of the show.
All right, James, thank you. We've got our eye on a couple of spots as it relates to our sunrise traffic at this hour. An accident in Gates on Lyle Avenue at Howard Road. And then another in Greece on West Ridge Road between Webster Road and Manitou Road. The main arteries, 390, 490, and 590, are running on time. Well, a portion of J Street in Rochester reopened once again this morning after several small fires forced that area to be blocked off late last night. This is video from the scene showing fires in the distance there as police barricaded parts of J and Orchard Streets to extinguish those fires. The cause of those fires is still under investigation. Reimagine RTS will launch today after a project that was delayed for nearly a year by the pandemic. One of the biggest changes coming to RTS is the new on-demand shuttles. These vehicles will come in a variety of sizes and connect people in certain areas to their final destination. The vehicles are hoping to help bridge the gap where some city routes are disconnected.
We wanted to provide an option for those folks that live outside the city, again, where we don't have a lot of demand, but it still provides an option, and it's a very flexible and, in fact, a better option than what we have today.
Well, instead of a fixed route bus that comes a few times a day, the new vehicles will come when you need them. They work just like other ride-sharing programs. You can schedule a ride on the app. The on-demand vehicles will cost $1 if you're connecting to and from a bus, and a custom ride will cost you $3. Well, a man is in custody this morning after a murder in Irondequoit. 33-year-old Danny Ramos is accused of killing his father, 73-year-old David Ramos. Irondequoit police say it happened on Culver Road. Ramos was arraigned in Irondequoit Town Court yesterday and is being held without bail. He is due back in court on Thursday. Irondequoit police also investigating another suspicious death, a body found on Hellendale Road Saturday afternoon. The identity and gender of that victim has not been released. Police, we're told, are questioning a person of interest, but no arrests have been made. Police say the two cases are not related. Thousands of people taking to the streets over the weekend around the world in support of Palestine. Pressure growing on President Biden and other world leaders to do more as Hamas and Israel continue to trade deadly attacks. Israel is being criticized for its bombing of a high-rise which housed international media organizations, including the Associated Press. Those journalists received about an hour's notice before that building was leveled. At least 2 people have died in Jerusalem after bleachers collapsed at an Orthodox synagogue. Over 100 there injured as well. The cause of that collapse is being investigated. It comes several weeks after a stampede at a religious festival killed over 40 people in northern Israel. Time now for the GRE Morning Business Report. Disney says earnings rose to $912 million in the second quarter. Its theme park revenue still weighing the company down amid ongoing restrictions, but the company says new CDC guidance on loosening masking could be helpful for business going forward. Well, no spending spree for consumers last month. According to the Commerce Department, retail sales were flat in April. Auto sales increased and spending at food and beverage venues rose as well. But stripping out car sales, consumer spending actually declined during April. Some of the nation's largest banks are working on a plan to extend credit to people who don't have a credit score. According to reports at J.P. Morgan, Wells Fargo and other banks will start looking at other information from applications, including checking and savings accounts, to determine who is financially responsible enough for a credit card. Teenagers can now line up for a COVID-19 shot at some drugstore chains. CVS and Walgreens kicking off vaccinations for adolescents between the ages of 12 and 15. Children must be accompanied by an adult. Walgreens is accepting walk-ins. CVS, you must have an appointment. The only shot currently approved for use in children is the Pfizer vaccine. To our Family First segment this week, talking about prevention, intervention, and treatment when it comes to child sex abuse. This morning, we're sharing some advice from an expert on how to talk to your children about what's appropriate and what's not. Recently, a principal in the Hilton Central School District was arrested and accused of sexual abuse. Before the alleged victims came forward, the Bavona Child Advocacy Center was at the school talking to children about sex abuse. Deb Rosen is the executive director at Bavona.
If something is happening in a community where the safety of children has been called into question, maybe there's a child abuse case that's receiving a lot of publicity, it's really appropriate to ask your child in a developmentally sensitive kind of way what they know about that story. It is very appropriate to ask the child directly if somebody is ever touching them or looking at them in a way that makes them feel uncomfortable.
And experts say start talking to your children about body safety as early as kindergarten. Wednesday, advice on how to help children heal if they have been the victim of abuse. All right, let's pivot now and find out what some folks might be talking about at the water cooler this morning. If you love Cheddar Bay biscuits at Red Lobster, listen up. The restaurant launching a contest to find its next Chief Biscuit Officer, James Gilbert. The winner will snag some perks, including $1,000 to spend at Red Lobster and a chance to weigh in on the new menu items. To enter, you must be part of the My Red Lobster Rewards program, which I am not a part of.
No, me either.
You're not either. All right. Something to consider this week. And on top of that, we've got the weather to go with it. A little beach weather coming to Rochester.
I think the kids are going to want a short sleeve shirt for today at the bus stop. It's really going to be just a fantastic day for them. They're going to get out there and enjoy it and enjoy the rest of the week. This is when it's really hard to sit in a classroom until 2:30 in the afternoon because it's just going to be that good of a day and that good of a week as well. Let's finish off with the 8-day forecast here as we kick off this Monday. Not so bad stuff to look forward to. That is including heat. I'm looking forward to those overnight lows in the low 60s. That means we cruise. Sunset's at 8:45, Mark. Late sunset, comfortable temperature.
Savoring it, James, all week long. Thank you. That's it for us for now here on News 8 at Sunrise. Our next update in 30 minutes. CBS This Morning is up next. Have a great day.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.